Welcome back to Weber State University Stewart Stadium and our broadcast today presented by Bear Lake Realty. I want to thank the guys at V6 Media providing our video for today's internet broadcast. Last time these teams met was in September the 21st at Milford. It was homecoming game for the Milford Tigers, and they won that one 26-13. Bryson Barnes, 208 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. The Duchesne Eagles got 165 passing yards from Cason Grant, and Gavin Davis, 166 receiving yards with a touchdown. But Duchesne obviously didn't do enough in that game defensively, and that's going to be a key for Duchesne today. It was interesting talking with both coaches, and obviously Milford wants to score a lot of points, but we'll hear it on the interviews here in just a moment, but different coaches hoping for a different type of weather today, and Coach Marshall got what he wanted on the weather front. We'll hear from Coach Marshall right in just a bit, but first, let's hear from the Eagles head coach.
Ryan Steinekert with Jerry Cowan, head coach of the Duchesne Eagles. Coach, thanks for your time, and congratulations getting back to the state championship game.
We appreciate that. We're excited to be there. Could have went either way last week, so we're real fortunate. We're hopefully going to make the most of it.
Talk about the game could have gone either way last week. You had lost to Parowan earlier in the year. They're a fantastic defensive team, and you guys are as well. That showed through the full 4 quarters and 3 overtimes.
Yeah, they really have everything going for them. They have size, and they're tough, and they have some really good athletes. So for us, it was really hard to move the ball, and we had to rely on our defense and a couple big plays to kind of give us a chance. But that's just kind of how it's been with us all year. We're not dominant in any position, so we scraping by sometimes is best we can do.
Your offense in the first half, I don't think you had a first down. Was there a big adjustment you had to make for the second half, or was there not much you could change?
Yeah, we adjusted a few things, but hell, I don't know if they did any good. We come out and threw the ball a little bit and had a couple, bounces go our way. But like I said, our offense just has to give us 7. It's kind of what we're, we'd like to score more, but if we can get a couple points on the board, we feel like our defense, at least in that game, was good enough to possibly get us a win. But, luckily we went a little longer than we wanted it to, but we come out pretty fortunate.
You had a few big plays that you mentioned, a couple of long passes, Caleb Sanchez, 52-yard touchdown catch and run. Gavin Davis's 2 interceptions in overtime, some big plays that made all the difference.
Well, Sanchez, he wasn't even going to play. He hadn't practiced in 3 weeks. He went to the doctor Friday, day before the game, and said he got cleared to play. So having him was nice. Obviously he kind of was in the right place at the right time with a ball that was tipped around and landed in his hands, and then he scurried off. But, that's sometimes, the breaks you get when, doing things the right way and playing defense. And obviously we're real conservative on offense. We don't want to lose a game on offense. If we lose a game, we want to be on defense, and, as far as Gavin Davis, like I said, he's been our lockdown corner, a guy that we put on their best player every game, and he doesn't get a lot of help from safeties. He's kind of put in a spot where we can put the other 10 guys, in other places. So he's been huge for us, not only on defense, but also offensively. He's made a lot of big plays for us too.
Coach, they say sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You'll have to be good and probably lucky as well with a very good team this weekend in the state championship, the Milford Tigers.
Yeah, they're obviously a good team. They've had a lot of wins in a row. They've got a quarterback that you don't see very often at this level as far as the things he can do, running, throwing, and just making plays. They've got weapons in the second, the skill of receivers, quick running backs, solid line, but at the same time, we feel like we got some pretty good players too. So the great thing about sports is you got to play the game, and sometimes the teams that people don't expect to win find a way, and that's what we got to rely on right now is finding a way. Might not be pretty, but we've been there before, and we've done it in situations like this before, but it's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to take a lot of things going our way for us to beat a team like Milford.
You played them back in September on the 21st. That was at Milford. They beat you 26-13. Can you tell me about that game?
Yeah, long trip, and I think it might have been their homecoming, so they're pretty fired up, and they had a big crowd, so it was kind of nice to see, because we've been to Milford before when when they didn't really have a lot of support. So, they've come a long way. So as far as the game goes, I mean, it felt like it was one of those games that we kind of had all year. I think we were down one score, maybe 1 point or something in the fourth quarter. It might have been 6 or something, but, we had a couple chances with the ball and go down and tie it up or whatever, and we just couldn't get it done. So ended up losing by 2 touchdowns, I believe. I felt like we competed, and, we were in that spot. I felt like we, showed we can play with them, so really it's just making a few adjustments, and, hopefully the adjustments we make are better than what they do, and, we'll see what happens.
Coach, anything else you want to touch on?
No, we're just excited to be here, and want to thank all the Duchesne fans, and we've even got a lot of support from, Rich County, and so we hopefully find a way to get this done for the North, and we're just tickled to be here, and it's a long season, and I'm just proud of my kids for the effort they put in, and, so we're about there, so we'll see. We'll pray for rain, pray for snow.
Coach, I know you've got some fans up north that were happy to see at least one team from the north in the state championship game. Way to go, way to get there, 3rd consecutive year. Good luck this weekend against Milford.
Okay, well, we'll see you down there, and not too far of a trip for you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Coach Cowan. That's Jerry Cowan of the Duchesne Eagles in their 3rd consecutive state championship game. They beat Kanab 2 years ago, lost last year against this Milford Tigers team, and back in it for a 3rd consecutive year. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll hear from Milford Tigers head coach Thane Marshall when we return as Bear Lake Realty presents the Utah 1A Football State Championship on MyLocalRadio.com.
Hello all, Dr. Dog here. I want to talk to you about PetMinerals.com. By merging the highest quality veterinary grade ingredients with highly advanced mineral technology, PetMinerals.com produces the most innovative pet supplements on the market. The supplements focus on specific needs like hip and joint, digestive, and overall diet. You and I both know a healthy pet is a happy pet. Show your pets how much you care. Order them supplements today at PetMinerals.com.
In today's world, with so many places to shop and so many options to choose from, sometimes you have to boil it down to one simple question: where do I get treated the best? At Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, we work hard to make sure every customer knows how much we appreciate them. We love what we do, and we believe in the products we sell. Our goal is to build a lasting friendship with every customer so we can serve you and your family for generations. Visit us today, Cash Honda Yamaha, 3765 US 91, Hyde Park, Utah. Once you've visited the Bear Lake Valley, you'll want to come back many more times. Realtor Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty can show you ways you can own a piece of the lake. Whether you want a summer home, a lot, a quarter share in a home, or a place to live year-round, Gary McKee is the #1 real estate agent in Bear Lake. Visit with Gary today and learn about all the options you have. Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah. Visit BearLakeRealty.com.
Welcome back to Stewart Stadium. It's the Duchesne Eagles, the designated visiting team, against the Milford Tigers, the designated home team. Tigers defending state champs. They competed for 2 consecutive state titles in 1993 and 94. They won it in 93, lost it in 94, competed and won the state championship last year in 17. They're back again this year under head coach Thane Marshall in his 2nd year at the helm of the Milford Tigers, in his 5th year at the helm of the Milford Tigers program. And in that span, his win percentage, 700. The Tigers have not lost since September a year ago at Duchesne. They've faced Duchesne twice since then, beat them both times, and will look to make it 3 in a row. Let's hear more from Coach Thane Marshall, how his team plans to do that this afternoon at Stewart Stadium, Weber State, in the 1A state championship game.
Ryan Steinecker with Coach Thane Marshall of the Milford Tigers. Coach, I don't know if I've ever seen an offensive showcase like you guys had last week. Thanks for your time. First of all, tell me about your perspective on last week's win over Monticello.
The kids were focused. They showed up ready to play the game, and, we stood there and watched the 3 overtimes, and we were stretching during that time. And, I think it just gave them a moment to sit and focus and just decided that, if this is the game that we want to win, and we got to win it to play next week.
There's a lot of different guys you could talk about. I mean, that was an incredible team effort, especially offensively, and what you guys defensively did to stop the Monticello rushing game. But I got to start with Bryson Barnes. His first 10 passes, completed 9 for 194 yards and 4 touchdowns. You can't do better than that.
You know, we've had drop passes all year long, and he's put it there. And the other day, the receivers just seemed to latch on to it and catch it. And you know, I've been telling everybody all year long that we catch the ball, we're pretty dangerous.
70 points. That is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to have. We kidded the JV quarterback because the only possession we didn't score was the one he went in on and nailed down at the end. So he's been razzed all week long about, you know, messing with the perfection. So,
Coach, defensively, you told me last week you wanted to stop their run and force them to beat you with the pass, and you did that. It worked really well.
Yeah. You know, the kids come out. I knew Alec Williams had it in him, our middle linebacker. When we played Monticello the first time, he was misreading. He was reading the quarterback instead of reading the handoff, and we shored that up, and him and Gage Griffiths just had a phenomenal game, and then we took our D lineman instead of rushing past Nebeker, we had him hit and read, and there just wasn't nowhere for him to pick to go.
Now this week you've got a different kind of team. The Duchesne, the top defense in the state. You saw their triple overtime win over Para 1. Initial thoughts on your opponent for the state championship?
Duchesne's scary. They're well coached, and they got a tradition up there. And the thing that you always got to know when you go play Duchesne is you have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. They're not going to make turnovers. They're going to come out and they're going to play their game. And I'm sure Coach Cowan's got something up his sleeve that he's going to throw at us. And so we've been trying to guess what that's going to be. And I'm sure, you know, defensively he's going to try to keep Bryson off guard with what's coming. But we have got to win the line of scrimmage. Our O-line has got to protect. If they protect Bryson and we catch the ball, we'll be okay.
You mentioned catching the ball. That is a big key for any team. And when you played against Duchesne the first time, you dropped a few passes.
Yes, we came into that game, and I scheduled Duchesne for homecoming on purpose so that the kids would have to focus. And they come out, and we had 4 or 5. I think Paxton had 4 drops of his own. And, you know, we got to concentrate, watch the ball into the, you know, we try to teach it that they have to catch it, look at clear to the tuck. In fact, after the Monticello game, the first game, Wes actually put numbers and letters on the end of a football, and when they caught it, they had to tell him whether it was numbers or letters.
Wow. Well, it seemed to have worked.
Yeah. It's, you know, and it's just a concentration level with these kids. Last year I was a little nervous. This week, you know, and the kids got a little nervous, and you know, this bunch is just, they're a different bunch, and they seem to just be focused on this game, and it's against Duchesne, and it doesn't matter what it's for. It's just, you know, we're going to go play.
Coach, the Milford Tigers won the state title in 1993. They made it back the next year and lost. You guys obviously made it last year and won the title, and you're back for a second consecutive year. You're starting to form a trend.
Yeah, I would like to think so. These kids down here have always had talent. They just, you know, and I want to think that they just finally got somebody to believe in them. The Little League coaches are doing a great job. And, you know, I got a bunch of great assistants, and these kids would run through brick walls for those guys. And all we do is we show up and we show them that we care about them, we love them, and we try to treat them like they're our own kids. And, you know, and these kids are responding.
Anything else you want to touch on, Coach?
Nope, I just, you know, hope the weather's good, and I can't wait for Saturday to get here. This week's gone by. It seems like some days it's gone by fast, and some days it goes by slow, but, you know, it can't get here fast enough.
Coach State Marshall of the Milford Tigers, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the state title game against Duchesne.
Thank you, Ryan. You do a great job.
Spoke with Coach Marshall on Thursday afternoon, and you could hear his eagerness. Couldn't wait for this week to go by fast enough. He's excited for the state championship game. Milford Tigers here for a second consecutive year, and the Duchesne Eagles here for a third consecutive year, and 8 of the last 12 years for the Duchesne Eagles. We'll take one more quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment on this Bear Lake Realty presentation of Utah 1A playoff football on MyLocalRadio.com. When you have your vehicle serviced by the experienced, certified technicians at Rocky Mountain Yeti, you'll have a legendary experience. With a comfortable customer waiting area, you can watch the big screen television or use the free Wi-Fi while you enjoy free hot waffles with ice cream. Our professional technicians work on all makes and models and handle everything from routine service to major repair. Stop in today, 100 Wasatch Road, Evanston. Visit www.yetiauto.group. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
If you've dreamed of owning your own beachfront property at beautiful Bear Lake, but think you can't afford it, think again, because you can. It's an investment you can rent that pays for itself, and you can enjoy it too. Realtor Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty can help make your dream come true. Visit with Gary today, because you'll never know unless you ask. Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Visit bearlakerealty.com. You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Hello, Miss Susan Siamese Cat.
Dr. Dog, I'm here because my perfectly shiny fur has lost its shimmer, and I don't have the energy I did as a kitten.
Miss Susan Siamese Cat, I recommend that you start taking the Feline Daily Multi-Chews from PetMinerals.com immediately. Your good health isn't a yarn ball to play with.
Dr. Dog, you always make me feel better.
Log on to PetMinerals.com today and get your feline supplements ordered today.
Milford Tigers and Duchesne Eagles for the 1A State Championship. Our broadcast today is brought to you in part by Bear Lake Realty. Visit bearlakerealty.com and work with the best. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. If you're looking for beachfront, room with a view, secluded mountain retreat, or much more, they've got plenty of timeshare options. And here's another option that Gary and Amber McKee can help you with. Buy a home. Maybe it's a second home, a vacation home, but they've got a method, a way to figure it out where you can rent that home out, let it pay for itself, and use it yourself sometimes as well. Enjoy the beautiful Bear Lake area, and then you'll have a second home before too long. Again, visit bearlakerealty.com, and I tell you, there's no place better in the area, in the region, than Bear Lake, the Bear Lake area in June, July, and August. And if you can get there in September and October, the water's like glass. And Gary McKee can tell you more about that. BearLakeRealty.com. Call them at 435-946-8888. That's 435-946-8888. Coin toss going on at midfield currently. Our broadcast today is also brought to you in part by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Visit www.explorelogan.com. That's explorelogan.com, and visit today and explore what makes Cache Valley different. We'll give you your starters here in just a moment. Teams lined up. Duchesne Eagles will be in the white tops the midnight blue, the dark blue bottoms and blue helmets. Milford Tigers, red helmets with black jerseys, black pants as well. You see Bryson Barnes, Carson Wunderlich, Alec Williams, and Paxton Henry out there for captains for the Milford Tigers. Their backs to us. Looks like Milford won the toss and deferred. So Duchesne will get it to start. First quarter coming up soon. In the 2A championship game, it was South Summit running away with it. An early game, an early contest, or a close contest early on. In fact, Grand County scored first on a handoff, double reverse, flea flicker pass deep down the field. Grand led 7-0 or 6-0 early, but it was all South Summit, and the Wildcats won their second consecutive state championship with a 50-25 win for the 2A state title. So congratulations goes out to the South Summit Wildcats. The Duchesne Eagles will get the ball first, so we'll give you their starting lineup on offense. And the front line, left tackle is junior number 66, Riker Blackburn. Left guard is senior number 64, Dylan Moon. The center, number 53, a junior, Cale Skews. And Skews, just a little guy, not real big. He's listed, and if you see him come out in that starting lineup, he looks more like a slot receiver type build, but he is the center. Right guard is junior number 55, Dominic Meller, and right tackle, sophomore number 58, Jose Guerrero. So some youth on that line. Dylan Moon, the only senior. Duchesne looks like they'll be solid again next year, at least on the line. Quarterback is a junior number 11, Kaysen Grant. Fullback, junior number 24, Skylar Ford. Tight end, junior number 12, Brock Ford. Wide receiver is junior number 8, Gavin Davis. You'll see him line up at wingback some of the time as well and carry the football. Wingbacks are sophomore number 20, Brock Adams, and senior number 2, Jaron Mortensen. Mortensen's been banged up a bit the last couple of weeks, so you'll see number 22, a junior, Caleb Sanchez, in there quite a bit, as well as a wingback carrying the football. I said a junior, but Sanchez a sophomore. What's your starting offense for the Duchesne Eagles? Starting defense for the Milford Tigers. Up front, a defensive end to defensive end, junior Russell Walker, junior Ike Keller, junior Carson Cox, and junior Colby Gillis. Linebackers are senior Paxton Henry, senior Alec Williams, and junior Gage Griffiths. Cornerbacks, senior Carson Wunderlich and Gage Hardy. Free safety is junior Bryson Barnes, and strong safety is senior Jarrett Sullivan. Let's move along in our pregame coverage real quick. I've got some keys of the game for you, and these are based on what coaches discussed with me earlier this week. So for the visiting team, the Duchesne Eagles, number one, how low can you go? Well, the question is for Duchesne, how low can they keep this score? Because the higher the score gets, the more this game will favor the Milford Tigers. They're averaging 40 points per game and allowing about, defensively, Milford not allowing a ton of points per game. And so the key for Duchesne is to keep that scoring low, as Milford is allowing 16 points per game. Duchesne only scoring 19 or almost 19 points a game. So Eagles have got to keep that score low. And number two, win the turnover battle. We heard Coach Marshall say this is a Duchesne team that they don't beat themselves. And Duchesne has to do that today. Take care of the football, not make mistakes, not beat themselves, and that starts really with the turnover battle and taking care of the football. For the Milford Tigers, number one is win on the lines, and that primarily, as Coach Marshall said, is win on the offensive line. They've got to win the line of scrimmage. If they can protect Bryson Barnes or at least give him time to throw, drop back and make those throws, this is going to be a long afternoon for the Duchesne Eagles defense. Number two is mental focus. Again, Coach Marshall said, we dropped a lot of passes the last time these teams met. Milford still won that game by 2 touchdowns, but we saw what happens when the Tigers catch those passes. Barnes throws for almost 300 yards, and the Tigers scored 70 points last week in that win over Monticello, and that was in big part because the Tigers did not drop passes last week. So those are your keys of the game. For the Eagles, keep that scoring low, take care of the football. For the Tigers, win the line of scrimmage and have that mental focus to make catches and execute. Coach Cowan wanted rain and snow, didn't get it. Coach Marshall wanted no wind, he did get that. So things so far to start this one in the favor of the Milford Tigers, who will kick off to start this game, and we are underway in a Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Championship football. The football squirts between the two kick returners for Duchesne. Gavin Davis and looks like Brock Adams were back there to return, and so it's back into the end zone. Duchesne will start from its own 20-yard line, a 1st and 10. Jaron Davis averaged 23.3 yards per kick return this season, but again, banged up a little bit this year, and Coach Cowan probably picking his spots for where he'll play Mortensen. Jaron not in there at wingback for this first possession. Davis in the shotgun, takes the snap, keeps it himself right up the middle. Or excuse me, that's Kason Grant. Squirts out to the left, and a short gain on 1st down for this Duchesne Eagles football team. With the ball first, a 2-yard gain out to the 22. Grant has not carried the ball a lot this year, 25 carries, and statistically this includes sacks, so minus 6 yards, 1 touchdown for Grant on the ground. Back in that double wing T formation, it's tight with a tight end on both sides. Grant takes it again and tries to go up the middle, but nowhere, and I'm wondering if that's actually Grant taking the snaps. You don't see Duchesne run this play, but Coach Cowan must have seen something that he likes in having Grant keep that thing up the middle. That is Jaron Mortensen running the football and lined up as quarterback. Yeah, there's a little wrinkle for you already for this Duchesne Eagles team, as Jaron Mortensen is lined up at quarterback. And you got to wonder if Grant got injured. I talked with Coach Cowan Thursday morning for that interview that I played in our pregame show. He did not mention anything about Grant being injured, so it may have been something that happened just in the last day or two. Mortensen again at quarterback, takes the snap, hands right. Nope, he kept it himself left, and he is upended. Big-time upending tackle, and Mortensen close to a 1st down out of the 29. That's a 5-yard gain. Barnes with that low tackle on the legs of Mortensen, who takes the first 3 carries for 9 yards, but just short of moving the chains at the 29-yard line. Left hash, Duchesne in most likely a punting situation. We'll just continue to keep our eyes on that sideline and see if Kason Grant comes back in. Eagles lined up to go for it, and now it looks like Grant in the ball game. He's going to take it, and the snap just push up the middle. Doesn't get a great push from the offensive line. Eagles saying we got a 1st down. Milford saying it's our ball, 1st down. The line judge from the Duchesne sideline comes in, and the head official, the referee, indicates move those chains. The Eagles needed a yard. They got exactly that. Listen to those Milford Tiger fans and the boos from the bleachers. They're right down here in front of us. The home team fans are. I believe that was Grant running the football that time. He picked up the 1 yard that he needed, and Duchesne moves the chains. No score on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard here at Stewart Stadium. A beautiful fall afternoon, about 45 degrees, and whistles. Did we have a flag? I didn't see a flag fly in, but I may have just missed it. I did. It's a delay of game on the Eagles. 5 yards makes it 1st down and 15. Talking with Coach Thane Marshall this week. He said he'd like to have this championship game every year down at in St. George at Dixon. Caleb Sanchez in at quarterback for this 1st down and 15, and he fakes the handoff, takes it left, and boy, Duchesne really shaking things up with different quarterbacks in there. And quite frankly, I'm still not certain that we've seen Kason Grant in the game yet, but Sanchez goes for 1 yard. Brings up a 2nd down and 14. That's not ideal for the Duchesne offense. Now they can get some big plays, but that's not their strength. Milford showing some pressure right up the middle. High snap through the hands of Sanchez, turns, and he is sandwiched. Ball came out late, and Milford has it. Was Sanchez down? That's the question. The referee says Milford football. The Tigers take over on the fumble. So Duchesne doesn't start well. And the Tigers, you don't need to gift them with good field position. They'll start at the Duchesne 13-yard line. 1st and 10. First quarter, 8:38 left to go. Nobody scored more points in 1A than the Milford Tigers this year. Bryson Barnes with 3 receivers left. He'll push Paxton Henry out just a touch. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls left, throws, looking for Sherwood in the back of the end zone. Bit too high. Sherwood, a 6'4" junior. And he's a tall target, but Barnes couldn't quite find him in the back of the end zone. 2nd down and 10 for the Milford offense. Barnes in his last 3 games has averaged 416 yards per game passing and running combined. Griffiths on the right hip of Barnes, and he'll look for an audible. Back in there quickly. Watch for Paxton Henry. He's got 24 touchdown receptions. He's stacked in behind Sherwood. Barnes running the option, pitches out for Griffiths. It's all on the turf, and Griffiths dives out. May have gotten back on top of it. Eagles probably more hopeful than anything, saying, we got it, but no. Griffiths actually picks up 2 yards to the 11. And it's 3rd down, Tigers. The only team that was about as good as Duchesne this year defensively, Parowan. They allowed just over 14 points per game. Those teams met last week, and Duchesne won in triple overtime, 15-7. Barnes back to throw, looks right. He's got Sherwood, caught, dives. He's got the 1st down, just shy of the end zone. And the Tigers move the chains. And I tell you, one of the toughest things to defend about this Milford Tigers offense is that junior Bryson Barnes distributes the ball to so many different guys. That one goes down to the 1. That's a 10-yard gain. Barnes takes the snap, keeps it himself, dives up the middle. Milford Tigers fans thought he was in, but no, just short. So the Eagles stop that running play at the 1. Give Barnes about half a yard. He's at the couple-inch line. Barnes, again, back up under center. I'd be surprised to see Milford run the same thing. Barnes leaning forward, now sends Henry in motion into the backfield. Barnes, he's in this time, just snuck to his left and dived into the end zone. The touchdown. And Milford leads 6-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. Bryson Barnes with his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. And his 55th touchdown accounted for. He's thrown 42, run for 12, and caught 1 as well. Extra point is low, partially blocked by the Eagles, so the PAT no good. First quarter action, 7:08 left on this Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Utah Playoff Football on mylocalradio.com.
When you have your vehicle serviced by the experienced, certified technicians at Rocky Mountain Yeti, you'll have a legendary experience. With a comfortable customer waiting area, you can watch the big screen television or use the free Wi-Fi while you enjoy free hot waffles with ice cream. Our professional technicians work on all makes and models and handle everything from routine service to major repair. Stop in today, 100 Wasatch Road, Evanston. Visit www.yetiauto.group. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
5 plays, just 13 yards. This Milford Tiger offense usually a little more explosive than that, but they'll take everything they can get against 1A's top defense, the Duchesne Eagles. Eagles turned it over at their own 13-yard line on a fumble. One of the keys of the game today was for Duchesne to win the turnover battle. They're already down 1 and trail 6-0. A minute 30 off the clock on that possession for the Milford Tigers, who will line up to kick this one away. Milford leads 6-0. Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. ExploreLogan.com. Low line drive kick. Fielded by Davis at the 14. Runs to his left, looking for a hole. Finds one across the 25. Out across or near the 30-yard line. Pretty good return for Davis. Tackle made by Sionaia. I hope I said that one right. That's not an easy name. Sionaia, the spelling. Davis, a 16, 17-yard return. And Duchesne starts from their own 31. Cason Grant did not take a snap on that first possession. And again, is not there. Jaron Mortensen takes the snap. Had some room on the right side, but Carson Wunderlich attacks the open field, and Mortensen stopped after about a 5-yard gain. Give him 4 to the 35. Mortensen did not have an offensive touch last week against Parowan until overtime. He was, according to, I talked with him this last Monday, and in his own words, he was banged up the last couple of weeks, but felt good enough to carry the football in overtime and had 41 yards and a touchdown in the 3 overtime periods. Handoff right side, Sanchez with a block, cuts up to the 40, hit hard, and he's got a first down, a little extra out about the 43. Sanchez, a solid running back, just a sophomore this year, but comes in averaging almost 6 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns. We'll spot him at the 43, an 8-yard gain. He's got 2 carries for 9 yards in this ball game, but the Duchesne fumble. Mortensen, a senior this year. Boy, if Grant is injured, and we'll just continue to watch to see if he comes out, but if Mortensen's the quarterback, don't expect to see much passing today. He's a smart, strong, and athletic senior, but has not attempted a pass this year. Takes it himself up the gut for about 3. They'll spot it at the 47, so that's a 4-yard gain. Mortensen already 5 carries, 18 yards. Came in averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Leads the team with 10 rushing touchdowns. Skylar Ford normally gets a lot of carries, has 6 touchdowns. He's the leading rusher in yardage gained this season. Came in with 105 yards rushing on the year. Excuse me, did I say 105? 805 rushing yards on the season. A stoppage for a moment. A shoelace untied. Wow. I wonder if it was one of the Duchesne coaches that alerted the sideline official. I'd be surprised. I mean, he's got a lot of things to think about. An untied shoelace is probably pretty low on his list of things to worry about. But one of the Duchesne players will tie his shoe. We have this little bit of a delay. Milford on top 6-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. Visit Cache Valley, explorelogan.com, and see what makes Logan and Cache Valley different. Mortensen from the shotgun, gives to Sanchez, starts left, cuts up the middle, then bounces it backwards. Wrong direction, Sanchez, and he loses a couple. It would have been 3rd and pretty short had he just lowered the shoulders and dove forward. He might have gotten to about the 50. Instead, he goes backwards to the 47 for no gain. Sanchez, 3 carries, 9 yards in the game, including that one for nothing. Sanchez, good speed, very quick feet, but went the wrong direction after he'd gained a couple. In at quarterback is Cason Grant for 3rd down and 6. Grant in the shotgun, again the tight formation. Rolling to his right, nowhere to go. He'll be caught and driven to the turf. The sack, Colby Gillis. And for Gillis, that's his 3rd sack of the season. This one huge. Puts the Eagles back at the 35, a 12-yard loss. Colby Gillis, big-time sack there. Eagles punt it away, high punt, and Paxton Henry fair catches at the 35. A 30-yard punt. Duchesne's first 2 possessions, 2 first downs, but a fumble at their own 13, and then a punt. Milford takes over, this time with 65 yards in front of him. 3:44 left in the first quarter. Tigers lead 6-0. And this Duchesne defense has only allowed 14 points per game. Milford just about halfway there with one possession. Trips on the left side. They like to stack those receivers. Hand off left, and Beebe, he's got some serious speed if he can get around that corner. Hesitates after about a 20-yard gain across midfield. Brett Beebe laser clocked at a 4.4 in the 40-yard dash. That was without pads, but you can still see his speed as he got around that corner. A 23-yard gain for Beebe on his first carry of the game. First down for the Milford Tigers at the Duchesne 43-yard line. Barnes sends Beebe in motion. You got 4 receivers on the right side. Barnes takes the snap. Quarterback keeper all the way. Gets around the left side. Down the left sideline, and he's finally pushed out or driven out at the 24 of Duchesne. And that's that type of big play offense we expect from Milford. That first possession took him 5 plays to go to 13 yards. Probably a lot of that is, well, 2 things. Duchesne's stingy defense. And also, you get inside that 20, about that 15-yard line, and things tighten up. Not as much space, and Milford really operates well with lots of space. Timeout on the field. I think it's Duchesne calling the timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 6-0 Milford with the lead, and with a football knocking on the door at the Duchesne 24. You're tuned in to 1A Utah Playoff Football, presented by Bear Lake Realty on MyLocalRadio.com.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Duchesne and Milford have played each other 29 times. Duchesne has won 21 of those matchups. Coach Cowan 6-2 against Coach Marshall, but Marshall's won the last 2. The Milford Tigers 2-0 in their last couple of games against Duchesne. In fact, Milford's last loss was against Duchesne, September 22nd of 2017. But the Tigers won the state championship over Duchesne last year, 26-13. Or no, 28-14, and they beat Duchesne earlier this year, 26-13. Barnes back looking to throw. Deep down the left sideline. Beebe wide open. Caught. Touchdown. Beebe all alone coming out of the backfield. And the Tigers extend the lead. Brett Beebe with his second receiving touchdown of the season. Bryson Barnes, 43 is his magic number. 43 touchdown passes on the year. My goodness. Barnes to Beebe. It's the Beebe gun to the Beebe gun. Bryson Barnes to Brett Beebe. And Milford will line up and go for 2. They failed on their last extra point attempt. Barnes from the shotgun sends Beebe right wing, or in the flat. He'll throw out there to Beebe. Makes the catch. Spin move, but he can't get into the end zone. And there's some great discipline you see from the Duchesne Eagles. Not going to beat guys like that. Dylan Moon makes the tackle out in the flat, and the 2-point conversion attempt, no. But the Tigers still lead 12-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. That drive, my goodness. 3 plays, 65 yards. We're still in the first quarter, 3:23 left to go. That drive only took 21 seconds off the clock. And the Tigers lead by 2 scores. Duchesne will get it back in a moment. Bryson Barnes, a 19-yard run on that drive. Brett Beebe, a 23-yard run and a 24-yard touchdown reception. Barnes, 2 of 3. 34 yards and a touchdown. And again, Bryson Barnes this season, that puts him at 55 total. Nope, 56, because he ran one in as well. 56 total touchdowns. And he needs just now 27 touchdowns to set a new state record for touchdowns in a career. Lehigh's Cannon Cooper set that record last year, had 118 career touchdowns. Barnes with this season. I mentioned 56 touchdowns. He's well on pace to set a new state record for touchdowns in a career. Barnes being recruited by University of Cincinnati, a team from the Pac-12, a team from the ACC as well. Low line drive kickoff. Davis lets it go through his hands back to the 10. Scoops it up, and he may have some room down the 20 to the 30. Right sideline. One blocker, a one man to beat. Still on his feet. 40 to the 30. He's finally hit from behind and brought down. Big tackle by Gage Hardy to stop Davis. Sometimes those broken plays go the right way, and this one certainly did for Duchesne. From the 10 all the way down to the 30 of Milford. A 60-yard return for Gavin Davis. Came in averaging 16.8 yards per kick return. And for Duchesne to get back into this thing, they're going to need a couple more plays like that. And the Eagles need to find something offensively here. They've picked up a first down on each of their first 2 possessions, but that's been it. A real tight formation. Just trying to work power football. Jaron Mortensen lined up at quarterback. Takes the snap, fakes a handoff, keeps it himself. Right side. Got inside the 25. Good gain of about 6 for Mortensen on first down. Alec Williams on the tackle. And they'll spot this just inside the 25-yard line. A 5-yard gain. Mortensen, 6 carries, 23 yards in the game. Skews the center up to the line of scrimmage. And Mortensen this time lined up left side, and it looks like Gavin Davis lined up as quarterback. And now the Eagles have to take a timeout. Coach Cowan frustrated. He comes out. Kason Grant was heading to the sideline and then stopped and turned around, not sure what to do. Eagles have to burn a timeout with 2:25 left in the first quarter. And the Milford Tigers up 12-0. Last time these teams met, well, I should say last year in the state championship, Milford jumped out 14-0 in the first quarter, scored another time in the second quarter and led 21-0 at the half. Duchesne scored 14 points in the second half, but Milford scored another 7 and won 28-14. Barnes had 178 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. The only player back for Duchesne really who contributed significantly last year in the state championship, Skylar Ford, had 8 carries, 22 yards. And he's been their workhorse this season, but has not carried the ball yet in this game. Came in 148 carries, 805 yards, and 5.5 yards per carry with 6 rushing touchdowns. But not sure Coach Cowan maybe just trying to mix things up and keep Milford guessing a bit as to what they're going to run. And I can see him maybe playing chess pieces a little bit and thinking, okay, we're going to switch quarterbacks a bit. We'll move things around, and then suddenly we'll bring Grant in and throw something deep. For now, Davis at quarterback takes the snap, runs to his left, and has nowhere to go. It looked like Alec Williams coming down the line to make the tackle. Williams this season came in with 93 tackles, 9 tackles for loss. Grant able to push forward for a couple to the 23, a short gain. I said Grant, that's Davis. I apologize, I get those two. Not sure why. Gavin Davis, Kason Grant, both juniors. Grant, his favorite target when he's at quarterback is Gavin Davis, 31 receptions, 542 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Davis again at quarterback, picks his way forward to the 22, which will bring up a 4th and short. Ike Keller on the tackle. Davis a gain of 1, 2 carries, 3 yards in the contest. And it's 4th and 2. Milford leads 12-0, a minute and a half left first quarter. On this Bear Lake Realty presentation of Winter Utah Playoff Championship game. Eagles lined up to go for it. Mortensen at quarterback from the shotgun. Takes it, and he'll go straight up the gut. Nope, bounce it out right side. Dives inside the 20, and that should move the chains. Line judge on this near sideline coming in, not giving Mortensen a very good spot from what I could see. I'm a long ways away, though. Clear up in the booth. but it is a first down at the 20-yard line. So Mortensen picks up 2, has 25 yards on 7 carries. I remember my middle school coach, 7th and 8th grade football coach, his philosophy was 2.5 yards per play, guys. If we can go 2.5 yards, we'll pick up a first down every 4 plays, and we'll move the chains. Caleb Sanchez, handoff left side. Flag flies in as Sanchez dives forward to the 18. Now, in theory, that 2.5 yards per carry or per play will work, but you have to avoid things like those penalty flags, and this will be likely a holding against Duchesne. Their first penalty, a delay of game, derailed their first possession. It is a hold against the Eagles. Second penalty of the game against Duchesne. 10 yards. And back to the 30 on that penalty. Infraction took place right at the line of scrimmage. Milford already leads 12-0. They had a short field after Duchesne coughed it up at their own 13. Mortensen, the shotgun, takes the snap. Double reverse. Brock Adams, left side. Not much room. He gets around the outside, and then he's hit and driven out of bounds. A couple yards is all for Adams on his first carry. Brock closing in on 400 rushing yards this season as a sophomore, has 4 touchdowns. And he was able to push his way to the 27-yard line for 3. Bring up a second down. And 17, second down and 17. That hold was a 7-yard or a 10-yard penalty. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter with Milford on top, 12-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. Visit explorelogan.com. This is the Utah 1A Football Championship presented by Bear Lake Realty on mylocalradio.com.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Well, things going Milford's way so far. Duchesne's first possession, they got a first down, but then coughed it up at their own 13-yard line, and Milford had to go just 13 yards to get their first touchdown of the day. Bryson Barnes, a 1-yard touchdown run to punch it in. Duchesne then got a first down on their second possession, punted it away, and Milford took over at their own 35. But that time, that second possession for the Tigers, they opened things up. And just 3 plays later, Bryson Barnes found Brett Beebe 24 yards down the left sideline for the touchdown pass. Second down and 17, Milford on top 12-0. Their extra point was blocked the first time they scored and then went for 2 and got denied their second scoring drive. Looks like Grant back in at quarterback, takes the snap, gives to Ford. He'll drive inside the 25, spun around, and to about the 24-yard line, a 3-yard gain for Ford on his first carry. And now Grant back to the sideline, and Mortensen will bring the play in. I've seen Duchesne play a few times this year. This is the first time I've seen them run this type of shuttling in quarterbacks. And I can't imagine. My only thought is that Coach Cowan has something in mind for later in the game by doing this. Mortensen takes the snap, fakes up the middle, keeps it himself, gets inside the 20. Now you're in maybe field goal range. Last week against Parowan, Duchesne attempted a 28-yard field goal, and it was, I believe, Brock Ford who missed it just wide left. This would be if they try for the field goal. It would be about a 36-yarder. I think Ford has the leg. He can kick the distance, but Duchesne not thinking 3. They're thinking we got to move the chains and keep this thing close. Grant at quarterback. Mortensen in motion. Throw deep down the middle, and Ford Had his man beat by a step or two. Arms out like he was held up, but not going to get it. The pass incomplete. And the Eagles turn it over on downs at the 19-yard line. Milford takes over. Second quarter, 10:35 left with Milford on top 12-0. And the Tigers can smell blood in the water. Bryson Barnes, a junior quarterback. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Paxton Henry stacked in behind, I believe that's Wunderlich here on this near side. You just can't quite see him off your screen. Jarrett Sullivan in motion. Give to Gage Griffiths. Back to the line, no more. Defensive stop right up the gut. And that looked like, I believe that's on the tackle, Dylan Moon, the senior. Keeps Griffiths from going anywhere. No gain. Second down and 10. Tigers, ball left hash. Milford in the black jerseys, black pants, red helmets. Eagles, white jerseys, dark blue pants, and dark blue helmets. Bears call that midnight blue. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's navy blue for the Eagles. Barnes back looking to throw. Pressure comes. He squirts out somehow, gets away. Running right side. Caleb Sanchez chasing, but Barnes up the field all the way to the 40 before he runs out. Brock Ford chasing as well and could not catch up. Bryson Barnes. Boy, he can do it all. Kills you with his arm and then kills you with his feet. That's a big gain out to the 41-yard line, 22 yards. Barnes already with 42 rushing yards and a touchdown on the day. 34 yards through the air. He's only attempted 3 passes. 2 for 3, 34 yards and a touchdown. Barnes back in the shotgun, stacked receivers left side. Let's send Beebe in motion, or Griffiths rather. Starts left, nowhere to go, and he is brought down in the backfield. Duchesne Eagles. Their defense has more sacks than anybody in 1A this year. 46 sacks. They average almost 4 per game, and they got back there for the sack this time. Barnes brought down clear back at the 33. An 8-yard loss. Tigers last week against Monticello on one of their touchdown drives had got themselves backed up after a penalty and then a sack. It was 3rd down and 37. And Barnes found, I think it was Wunderlich, down to about the 5-yard line to move the chains. 2nd down and 18, nothing the Tigers are too worried about. One man back deep defensively is Jaron Mortensen, the free safety. Barnes, low snap, pressure comes. He escapes out to the left, and he's tripped up and brought down back behind the 20. The sack by Dylan Moon. Great pursuit by Moon for his 4th sack of the season. And now the Tigers have a little something to worry about. They'll spot it back at the 20, a loss of 13. Moon came unblocked into the backfield. I gotta wonder if Coach Marshall, he's pointing out there. He's on this near sideline, wearing some red sleeves under a black hoodie. White cap. In his 5th season as coach of the Milford Tigers, he's turned this program around. A 3rd down and 31. Barnes back to throw. He goes over the middle. He's got Henry caught. 40 to the 50. 1st down and a lot more. Foot race down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Paxton Henry all the way on 3rd and 31. An 80-yard touchdown pass and catch. And the Tigers extend the lead. 80 yards for the score. They spread him out, and Barnes hits Henry right in stride. That's a new state record, 25 receiving touchdowns on the season for Paxton Henry. He puts himself alone in first place. Now, Orem's Puka Nakua caught his 24th touchdown pass last night in Orem's win in the semifinals. But Paxton Henry, that is his 25th touchdown catch of the season. Puts him over 1,100 receiving yards. And the Tigers will kick the extra point, attempt the extra point, kicked up and through. And Milford extends its lead 19-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. This is Utah won a football championship presented by Bear Lake Realty on mylocalradio.com.
It's fun helping each customer find the best vehicle for their needs. I'm Tracy Lawley, and I've worked with my brother Kirk for 23 years. Back in 1969, my grandfather Donnell Jensen sold a customer this 1969 Dodge Charger. Years later, I had the opportunity to sell that same customer a new Dodge truck. And we continue to have the opportunity to serve his children and grandchildren. If you're buying a car from someone who isn't having fun, you should definitely come see me before you sign on the dotted line.
5 plays, 81 yards. The Milford Tigers faced a 3rd and 31 after Barnes was sacked twice. Barnes not concerned. That's another thing that makes him so dangerous is his poise. Does not play. And you could say the same thing last year when he was a sophomore, and he's even better this year as a junior, but does not play like an underclassman. He plays more like a senior, maybe even a college senior at times. Just poised, collected, controlled. 80-yard touchdown pass. Barnes hits Paxton Henry in stride on a deep slant, and Henry does the rest. Paxton Henry, 58 receptions for well over 1,100 yards and now 25 touchdowns. Kickoff fielded by Adams. Brock goes to his right, finds a lane, and dives across the 25. Tripped up across the 25. Duchesne takes over 1st and 10 with Milford leading 19-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. Today's broadcast online at mylocalradio.com and live.ksl.com is brought to you in part by Bear Lake Realty. If you're looking for beachfront, room with a view, a secluded mountain retreat, any number of timeshare options, buy now and start enjoying beautiful Bear Lake. You know about Bear Lake as a summer recreation paradise. Wait till you get there in the winter. If you like snow machining, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, sledding, tubing, anything in the winter. Grant back looking to throw down the left sideline or the right sideline, and a flag flies in as Gavin Davis was held up. 2 flags, one from the back line judge, one from the sideline judge. And Duchesne will have a first down on a pass interference. Is a defensive pass interference. First penalty of the ball game against Milford. That's a 15 yards. In high school, it's not automatic first down, but boy, you get 15 yards most of the time. That does result in a first down. Out to the 41-yard line, Duchesne looking to open things up a little bit. They've spread back out to their usual formation, what we've seen most of the season. Gavin Davis wide left, and that double wing. Sanchez in motion. Grant back, looking to throw. Pressure comes, throws out to his left, and nobody there. Pressure was coming, and Grant just had to kind of throw it away to where he thought Sanchez would be, and it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Tigers, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Their first possession, 5 plays, 13 yards. Then they went 3 plays, 65 yards. Then 5 plays, 81 yards. And an 80-yard touchdown reception for Paxton Henry, capping off that 3rd possession to make it 19-0. Grant takes the snap, tries to go up the middle, nothing there. No, this is Jared Mortensen, bounces it out the right side. He's got the first down and more, finally driven out across the 50. And almost to the 46-yard line, Jared Mortensen. Clear to the 46-yard line of Milford. Duchesne has got to get some points on the board to keep this one in reach, and then got to find some an answer offensively, or defensively, I should say. So that run, 13 yards for Mortensen. He's back in at quarterback, gives to Sanchez around the right side. Caleb wants to go outside, tries to cut it up, and he's stuffed. And he did get a couple, about the 44. On the tackle, Gage Griffiths, a junior. Gets a lot of attention on the offensive side of the ball. Griffiths, the leading rusher second leading rusher for this. Well, second leading running back rusher. Bryson Barnes is the leading rusher for the Milford Tigers offense. Beebe and Griffiths right there neck and neck for 2 and 3 on the team, both about 600 rushing yards. Snap and give to Sanchez around the right side. He's got some blocking and some room to run. He'll pick up 10 or 12 and then be driven out of bounds. Down about the 33. That'll be another first down. Sanchez finding some room around the outside. Jared Mortensen found some room around the outside to pick up their last first down. Duchesne moves the chains again at the 33, an 11-yard run. Sanchez, 4 carries, 20 yards in the game. Mortensen, 9 for 43. Eagles came in with most of their running backs all averaging right around 5.5 to 6 yards per carry. There have been about 3.5 to 4 yards per carry today. Give to Ford, or no, to Adams, and he lets the ball fall to the turf. It's picked up. Looks like Russell Walker, the junior defensive end for the Milford Tigers. And the Eagles had things going. That was their third first down of the drive. One of the keys of the game that we talked about in our pregame show was for Duchesne to win the turnover battle. They had to take care of the football to keep themselves in this game. That's already their second giveaway. And Milford takes over 1st and 10 from their own 38. Barnes with a tight formation. Sends some receivers out. He throws left sideline. He's got his man caught down the left side. And the Tigers will score again. Brett Beebe with his second receiving touchdown of the game. He catches it out in front. Nobody's going to catch him. And the Milford Tigers have just opened it up big time. 62 yards and the touchdown. Beebe with 2 receptions. 86 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Bryson Barnes, 4 of 5, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's got 4 completions, 3 touchdowns. Tigers to kick the extra point up and through. A low line drive, but finds its way home. And Milford leads 26-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard with 6:16 left in the second quarter. You're tuned in to 1A Utah Playoff Championship Football presented by Bear Lake Realty on mylocalradio.com.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Now, this is a deficit that will be extremely difficult for Duchesne to overcome. 26-point Milford Tigers lead. Duchesne this season has averaged just under 19 points per game. So they score about 3 times per contest. They need 4 scores just to get back into it, to would be tied up, maybe take a narrow lead. And they've got to keep Milford from scoring again. The Tigers have 2 possessions that have gone 3 plays, 65 yards, 21 seconds. That last possession, 1 play, 62 yards, and 10 seconds. Bryson Barnes with 4 completions, 3 touchdown passes, and 176 yards. 2 big touchdown passes already. An 80-yard touchdown pass to Paxton Henry and a 62-yard touchdown pass to Brett Beebe. Eagles receive the kick, and Mortensen coming to the left side, across the 20 out to the 25 on a decent return. Brett Beebe showing his speed today. A 24-yard touchdown reception and a 62-yard touchdown reception. Eagles 1st and 10. They'll spot this at the 27-yard line. Duchesne, not bad offensively, just inconsistent. An injury on the field. Is that Jarrett Sullivan slow to get up for the Milford Tigers? Tragedy recently struck the Duchesne community. Chantel Young was killed by a wrong-way driver. And just a sad, sad situation. A young, soon-to-be mother was pregnant at the time. This was just a couple of weeks ago, and it's just a sad, sad situation. But the community really came together, and that's what I want to focus on, is the way that the Duchesne community came together and put together a community fundraiser. 2 weeks ago in the quarterfinals, the Duchesne Eagles hosted the Kanab Cowboys, and both teams, this is a shout-out, tip of the cap to both Duchesne and Kanab. The Cowboys, both teams gave their share of the gate fees to the family. They held a raffle. They did a Chuck Your Change and did other things to raise money, and they raised almost $15,000 for the family. And again, a tip of the cap, prayers and thoughts with the family, but the tip of the cap to both teams. Give to Sanchez, left side. He's jukes out of a tackle and gets out near the 50 before he's brought down. Now that's Brock Adams on the carry. Both built about the same, Sanchez and Adams. It was Adams on this carry, and Duchesne is out near midfield. They'll spot it right at the 50-yard line, a first down on a 23-yard gain. Tackle by Gage Hardy. Duchesne quickly back up to the line of scrimmage. Mortensen in at quarterback. We've seen a lot of changes in quarterbacks in this one. Mortensen gives to Sanchez, right side. Cuts up, then back out, and drives forward. Second effort to the 45. Almost 5 yards on the carry for Sanchez. They will spot it at the 45-yard line. Sanchez, 5 carries, 25 yards in the game. Just over 5.5 left. Second quarter, Milford on top, 26-0. Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. Here at Stewart Stadium, Weber State University. 46 degrees, your current temperature here in Ogden. Mortensen takes the snap and pulls it away from Sanchez, keeps it himself right side, breaks a tackle, still on his feet inside the 25 to the 23. Mortensen running hard. They'll spot him at the 23-yard line. A 22-yard gain for Mortensen, who has 65 yards on 10 carries. And this running Mortensen as the quarterback has been successful for Duchesne. But can they maintain possession here in this second quarter? Coach Thane Marshall fired up about his team not being where they should be. Calls a timeout to chat with his team. Our broadcast today is brought to you by the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Great food, historic lodging. This is Cache Valley. Visit explorelogan.com. They've got great food, historic lodging, incredible entertainment, fantastic family fun, outdoor recreation, and more. Visit today and explore what makes Cache Valley different. ExploreLogan.com to plan your family adventure today. That's www.explorelogan.com. 26-0, Tigers on top. We got a blowout in the 2A championship game as South Summit ran away from Grand County 50-25. South Summit with its second consecutive state championship. The 3A game will follow this 1A championship, and it'll be Summit Academy against, I believe, North Sevier for the 3A championship game. Looks like is that Mortensen back in at quarterback for the Eagles with Ford on his right hip. Takes the snap and fakes the handoff. No, this is Gavin Davis. I thought it didn't look quite as big of a player as Mortensen. Gavin takes it the right side and picks up a few. Stepped out of bounds at the 19, a gain of 4. Davis, 3 carries, 7 yards. Mortensen's been the workhorse so far in this first half for Duchesne. 10 carries, 65 yards. Second down and 6. Duchesne knocking on the door. They've got to get something on the board at least before the half to have any hope. Davis keeps it himself right side. Good option keeper down to the 15. Davis, a smart and quick-footed athlete, had 2 interceptions in overtime last week in the 15-7 triple overtime win over the Parowan Rams. That got Duchesne into this championship game. Davis to the 15, another 4 yards. Brings up a 3rd and short. Eagles. Davis on the left side. I think this is Mortensen at quarterback this time. Jaron takes the snap and dives toward his left and gets real close. He may be just short depending on the spot. Line judge from this near sideline comes in showing that Mortensen is a bit short. Referee comes in and says 4th down. No measurement needed. So Mortensen needed 2. He picked up about 1.5. To the 13-yard line. Eagles, no question, they'll go for it here. Mortensen at quarterback in the shotgun. Watch for him to take the snap and go straight up the middle. Does, and gets a good drive from the right side of his offensive line. Pushes forward for what looks like a 1st down. Let's give some credit where credit is due to those big offensive linemen on the right side. Dominic Meller and Jose Guerrero. Cale skews the center, and Duchesne moves the chains. Mortensen got to the 11, so he needed half a yard. He got 2. 12 carries, 69 yards for Jaron Mortensen in the game. A 1st and 10. Eagles can move the chains at the 1. Reverse, Brock Adams wrapped up and then hammered clear back about the 21. Forward progress stopped at the 18. So the Eagles will lose about 7. Adams, last carry went for 23 yards, but this time goes -7. And that's good disciplined assignment defense by the Milford Tigers. When teams run misdirections and double reverses and things like that, they're counting on the opposition to get out of position by following the ball. But Milford says, no, sir. They stayed in their lane, stayed with their assignment. Grant looking to throw. He had Adams in the end zone open for a moment, but the throw just came late and it's picked off in the end zone. Paxton Henry catches passes on offense. He catches them on defense as well. Henry with the pick in the end zone. And that's Duchesne's 3rd turnover of the day. 2 fumbles and an interception for Paxton Henry. 2nd interception of the season. And Milford takes over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. That was Grant on the pass attempt for Duchesne. Eagles, or the Tigers, with 2:43 left to go in the second quarter. Barnes, quick throw for Henry, and Henry had turned in. Barnes threw it a bit toward his outside shoulder, incomplete. Barnes, 4 of 6, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. First half, Tigers on top, 26-0. Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard, 2:40 left to go, second quarter. 3 receivers on the left. Barnes has, looks like BB in the backfield. He'll go in motion. Right sideline, going deep for Wunderlich, just overthrown. Barnes hit just after he released the pass. Bryson Barnes missed on his first pass attempt, had completed 4 in a row with 3 touchdowns among those 4 completions. 3rd down and 10, Milford Tigers. Wunderlich a bit slow to get back in position. A bit exhausted after that long run on a wheel route. Tigers set up their play. Barnes takes the snap, running the option, right side, and not much room. Milford will be forced into most likely a punt with 3rd down and 8 coming up. Riker Blackbird on the tackle. Barnes 5 carries, 44 yards. He'd gone for, two of his carries, or most of those 44 yards, a run of 19 and of 22. He's also got a rushing touchdown on the day. Tigers, from their own 22-yard line, it's a punting situation, but that's not what Milford is thinking. Under 2 minutes to go, going for it on 4th and 8. So confident in their offense that they're going to go for it from their own 22. That shows some confidence in their defense as well. trying to hard count. They don't get it. They do not get Duchesne to jump, and Coach Marshall calls a timeout. We'll keep it right here at Stewart Stadium, where the Milford Tigers have scored 26 in this first half. Duchesne Eagles with 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and 1 thrown interception. And that was one of our keys of the game. For Duchesne, they had to play pretty mistake-free football. And this season, Duchesne has 29 takeaways, but giveaways have been an issue. They came into the game with 26 giveaways, 26 turnovers given away. And with 3 more today, now they're even in turnover differential at 29 giveaways, 29 takeaways. Milford, meanwhile, boy, they have taken care of the ball so well this season. The Tigers with just 5 interceptions thrown by Bryson Barnes. They've only fumbled it away twice. That's 7 turnovers in, well, now 11 and a half games. Milford Tigers on an 18-game win streak. The last time they lost was against Duchesne Eagles in 2017, September of last year. They then beat Duchesne in the championship last season at Southern Utah University. And the Tigers lead 26-0 with 1:45 left in this first half. Milford lined up to punt it away. First punt of the game for the Tigers, and it's a short knuckleball type punt. Takes a Duchesne bounce at the 48 to the 50 and dies there. So Milford punts it away. The Tigers, I don't think they punted last week in the win 70-22 over the Monticello Buckaroos. Milford will take over with Duchesne will take over with good field position. Looks like they'll spot it right at midfield. Second quarter, 1:36 left to go. Tigers 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns. And I'm just looking back at last week, and the Tigers did not punt. Not once against Monticello in that 70-22 win in the semifinals. Davis wide to the left. He's Cason Grant's favorite target this season. Grant back looking to throw. Rolls to his left and throws back to his right. It's caught, but a loss on the play. Ball squirts out after the runner was down. Brock out. No, before he was down, and Duchesne turns it over for a 4th time. So Milford, already leading by 4 scores, takes it over with 1:25 left to go in the second quarter. And I'm sure Coach Marshall and his team is looking for another score. I believe it was Gage Griffiths who either forced or recovered the fumble. So Milford will take over at the Duchesne 48. Second possession of the day where they've started in Duchesne territory. Once from the Duchesne 13, now from the 48. Barnes pressured. Scrambles to his right, still eyes downfield, throws, and he's got his man. Wunderlich caught at the 42. Progress stopped. It won't be a big gain, but boy, the way that Barnes was pressured, and talked with Coach Marshall a couple of times this season. He says one of Barnes' biggest improvements this season has been his ability to keep his eyes downfield, even when pressure comes and when he's forced to scramble. Wunderlich with his first catch of the day. That goes for 6 yards. Barnes back, takes the snap, shotgun over the middle. He's got Sherwood, I believe, on the catch. Down to the Duchesne 27, 28-yard line. They'll spot it at the 27. Barnes back to throw. Flushed out right. Runs, rolls, throws. Sideline incomplete. So that last completion to Sherwood, 15 yards. Sherwood a huge target, 6'4". He's been a target a couple of times today, but has, 3 targets, 2 completions to him. Barnes with 197 passing yards in this first half. 44 seconds to go in the first, and Milford leads 26-0. Barnes back, throws left sideline. He's got his man caught. Touchdown, Jarrett Sullivan And what a toss by Bryson Barnes. He hits Sullivan in stride just over the outstretched arms. That was good defensive coverage. But the pass, pinpoint accuracy by Bryson Barnes for his 4th passing touchdown of the day. That puts him at 46 passing touchdowns on the season. He is number 1 in all classifications. Jarrett Sullivan's first reception of the day goes for 27 yards in the score. Extra point up off the upright to the outside, no good. And Milford will have to settle for a 32-0 lead on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. That drive, 4 plays, 48 yards. 38.7 seconds left in the second quarter. And Duchesne in a deep, deep hole against 1A's top offensive team, the Milford Tigers. 47 seconds off the clock on that last possession. That's 3 drives for the Milford Tigers that they've gone the distance in under a minute. One drive of 21 seconds, another of 10 seconds, that one of 47 seconds. Bryson Barnes, let me do some quick math here. 197 plus 27, 224 yards, 8 of 11, 4 touchdowns in the game for Barnes. Came in. The hype is real. If you haven't seen Bryson Barnes play, you can see why. He's got 46 passing touchdowns, 13 rushing touchdowns. Short kickoff to the sideline. Duchesne fields it at the 20. Brock Adams to the 25. He's wrapped up, sandwiched, and brought down by a gang of Tiger tacklers. Duchesne will take over 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And Milford, boy, the last few games, they struggled a bit. And, in fact, you just have to go back just 2 weeks to see a fairly close game, a 41-27 win over Layton Christian. The Eagles had that game pretty close. I think it was actually tied at the half, or at least close to that. Milford scored the last 2 touchdowns to win 41-27. Duchesne takes the snap, give to Sanchez around the right side. He's got some room outside the 30, across the 35, finally brought down. Duchesne started this drive from their own 27. Duchesne may be content to just let the clock run out and go into the half trailing 32-0. Yeah, Coach Cowan. Nope, calls a timeout. He wants to get one more play in. So Sanchez carries out to the 36. That was a nice gain on 1st down of 9 yards. Oh, no. I thought they'd stop the clock for a moment there, but no. And so that takes us to the half. Milford Tigers leading 32-0. Halftime show coming up on this Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Utah Playoff Football on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit BearLakeRealty.com today.
Sometimes when you're shopping for a vehicle, you're not sure what you want, so you drop by and look at all the options. Other times you know exactly what you want. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, you can call us or schedule a test drive online. We'll have it ready when you get here. We're here to help you get exactly what you want on your schedule. So whether you want to browse or pre-schedule a test drive, Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet is here for you. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. Orthopedic surgery is the practice of medicine centered around bones and joints. It's all about movement and activity and getting that to be less painful. Watching a patient with a specific problem, whether that's pain or decreased range of motion, and being able to treat them, by far the best part of my job.
Welcome to the halftime show. Milford Tigers with a big lead, 32-0 at the half. Thanks, Brad. Some stats provided by Brad Barton. We'll get you those here in a sec. We'll get some information on that. But on the scoreboard, absolute domination. And so much of that for the Milford Tigers in that first half was the passing game. 224 yards through the air. Bryson Barnes, 8 of 11 with 4 touchdowns. And the Milford Tigers lead big at the half, 32-0. Those stats unofficial. I said 224. That's right. Let's see. That was my stats. I keep stats as we go along. And Brad James keeping some stats for us as well. Just provided me this sheet. Now, the Duchesne Eagles have 144 rushing yards. But they've turned it over 4 times. 1 interception and 3 fumbles. And that's been their issue. Jaron Mortensen has done a pretty good job on the ground, 12 carries, 64 yards. But Duchesne, those 4 turnovers, and that's going to kill them every time. That was one of the keys of the game we talked about in the pregame show, is Duchesne, to keep this one close, had to not beat themselves. And in fact, Coach Thane Marshall said this Duchesne team, it's a team that doesn't beat itself. These players are disciplined so well, but today some mistakes have come, and part of that may be Duchesne putting a lot of pressure on itself, the players putting a lot of pressure on themselves to try to make big plays, fight for that extra yard, knowing that their opponent is undefeated this year, is a defending state champ, and has for sure the top quarterback in 1A. And a lot of folks would compare him or put him up against anybody in other classifications as well. Now, Cale Atkinson from 2A's South Summit would compete for with Bryson Barnes. I think Atkinson may be a little more dangerous of a runner. Although that's tough to say because Bryson Barnes has almost 800 rushing yards and 12 rushing touchdowns this season. But and then Atkinson right up there as a passer. Bryson Barnes probably edges Atkinson out as a passer. But bottom line is that this Duchesne team, I think, knew they had a tough task, a tall order to try and beat this Milford Tigers team. And putting some extra pressure on themselves may have forced some of their own mistakes. Milford certainly can't take anything away from the Milford Tigers, who offense or defensively, you force 3 fumbles, you intercept the pass, you got to give that defense some credit. There's a Milford Tigers team that, boy, they are just playing excellent at the right time of the season, and they've played well all season long, but boy, to come on this strong the last couple of weeks, 70-22 win over Monticello last week, and a 32-0 lead at the half on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. I mentioned Bryson Barnes, 7 of 11. He's got 8 completions, doesn't he? No, 7 is correct. I gave him an extra completion. 7 of 11, 224 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's been sacked twice, but boy, both of those on the same drive. He was sacked twice, and it was a 3rd and 31, and then completed an 80-yard touchdown pass to Paxton Henry. Brett Beebe, 2 receptions, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. Henry with 1 for 80 yards and a touchdown. Zach Sherwood, 2 for 25. Jarrett Sullivan, 1 for 27 and a touchdown. And then Carson Wunderlich, 1 for 6. Gage Griffiths, 2 carries, 2 yards. Brett Beebe, 1 carry for 23 yards, and then the 2 receiving touchdowns. The Duchesne Eagles have yet to complete a pass. Well, no, let me correct that. One completion went for -2 yards on a screen play to Brock Adams. Now, again, Duchesne offensively, they've run for 144 yards on the ground, but, boy, they haven't gotten anything going through the air, and those 4 turnovers, a huge difference in this ball game. Milford leads 32-0 at the half. We'll take a quick break, and we'll have more of the halftime show coming up, some more stats and highlights when we return on this Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Utah Playoff Football on mylocalradio.com.
Many of our customers have trusted Jensen Wood Motors for generations. It's important to all of us here at the dealership we always work for the people. My grandpa was a man of his word, and he passed that tradition on to us. We understand that we're here to serve our customers, and every day we try and do that to the best of our ability. We really appreciate each customer, and we want to make sure that they feel that when they're doing business with us.
Jensen Wood Motors, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Montpelier, Idaho. The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live. Once you've visited the Bear Lake Valley, you'll want to come back many more times. Realtor Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty can show you ways you can own a piece of the lake. Whether you want a summer home, a lot, a quarter share in a home, or a place to live year-round, Gary McKee is the #1 real estate agent in Bear Lake. Visit with Gary today and learn about all the options you have. Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah. Visit bearlakerealty.com. You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
If you had a toothache, would you see a foot doctor? Or would you go to the dermatologist to have a baby? Of course not. When your vehicle needs service, take it to the best qualified mechanics. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, our technicians are GM certified service experts. They're trained to know every inch of your vehicle. Don't trust your vehicle to just anyone. Have all your service done at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Welcome back to the half. Milford Tigers, defending state champs, leading 32-0 at the half. They won the state title in '93, made it again to the championship game in '94, and lost to Rich Rebels that year. Rebels won it 3 consecutive years, 94, 95, and 96. Milford Tigers were looking to buck that little bit of a trend, you might say, as they made it last year, beat Duchesne for the championship, made it again this year, and boy, are they ever firing on all cylinders. A 32-0 lead over the Duchesne Eagles at the half. Bryson Barnes through the air, 7 of 11, 224 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked twice, but he's found Paxton Henry for an 80-yard touchdown pass. Also found Brett Beebe for a 62-yard touchdown pass. And Barnes can't compete with that much. He's also got 43 yards on the ground. Dual threat junior quarterback being recruited by Cincinnati, a team from the Pac-12 and another team from the ACC. And you can see why. He's so smooth, such a good release and a great ball. He found, it was Jarrett Sullivan on just a perfect touch pass down the left side, and Sullivan caught it in stride for the touchdown. That's third touchdown of the day. for the Milford Tigers. Fourth touchdown pass of the day for the Milford Tigers and Bryson Barnes. A 32-0 lead at the half. Milford halfway to a third state championship, what would be a second consecutive state title. And Milford comes in with an 18-game winning streak, looking to make that 19 in a row. And with Barnes coming back next year, maybe getting a little ahead of myself, but with Barnes coming back next year as a senior, boy, you just can't count the Milford Tigers out. They'll be solid again next year for certain, with Barnes coming back as a senior next season. 32-0 at the half. This presentation of 1A Utah playoff football on mylocalradio.com is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Visit bearlakerealty.com and work with the best. Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City. They've got beachfront, room with a view, secluded mountain retreat, any number of timeshare options. Buy now and start enjoying beautiful Bear Lake. Stay tuned. More of this Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Utah playoff football coming up on mylocalradio.com. We're at the half where the Tigers lead 32-0 over the Duchesne Eagles.
When you're buying and selling real estate, you want to work with an agent that knows the area and understands property values. You want to work with an agent that listens to what you're looking for and knows how to find it for you. And it's important to know all of your options. That's why it's smart to work with the best. Gary McKee and the agents at Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 25 years. When you work with Bear Lake Realty, you're working with the best. Visit bearlakerealty.com today.
Sometimes when you're shopping for a vehicle, you're not sure what you want, so you drop by and look at all the options. Other times you know exactly what you want. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, you can call us or schedule a test drive online. We'll have it ready when you get here. We're here to help you get exactly what you want on your schedule. So whether you want to browse or pre-schedule a test drive, Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet is here for you. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. Orthopedic surgery is the practice of medicine centered around bones and joints. It's all about movement and activity and getting that to be less painful. Watching a patient with a specific problem, whether that's pain or decreased range of motion, and being able to treat them, by far the best part of my job.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
It's fun helping each customer find the best vehicle for their needs. I'm Tracy Lawley and I've worked with my brother Kirk for 23 years. Back in 1969, my grandfather Daniel Jensen sold a customer this 1969 Dodge Charger. Years later, I had the opportunity to sell that same customer a new Dodge truck. And we continue to have the opportunity to serve his children and grandchildren. If you're buying a car from someone who isn't having fun, you should definitely come see me before you sign on the dotted line.
November 10th, we're at Weber State University, Stewart Stadium in Ogden, and northern Utah this time of year. I remember 5 years ago, Rich and Duchesne played for a state championship, and it was a snowy day about every, probably 4 times during that broadcast, during that game. They had to clear players off, clear teams off, and even when teams say, if the teams were down on one end of the field, they would have the grounds crew on the other end of the field with snow shovels clearing off those every 10 or 5 yard lines, the 10, the 20, the 30, because it was snowing. It was a blizzard. It was a whiteout that day. So that's what you can get in the beginning of November here in Ogden, but you can also get days like today. 45 degrees, some fans in hoodies, coats, some fans even in just long sleeve t-shirts and enjoying the sunshine. We got a good one this afternoon as far as weather goes. Coach Jerry Cowan of the Duchesne Eagles was hoping for rain and snow. This Milford offense can't be slowed down by much. Rain and snow might have slowed down the Milford offense a bit. But with great conditions, even against 1A's best defense, the Milford offense has not been slowed down today. 32 points on the board in the first half. Bryson Barnes, 224 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, plus 43 rushing yards and a touchdown. And the Milford Tigers lead 32-0 at the half. State championship game, so often you expect a close game, especially when you consider Duchesne has allowed 14 points per game this season. And look at, let me find my sheet real quick. Duchesne's worst game this season, they allowed 42 points against 3A American Leadership. North Summit's 2A scored 7. Carbon scored 12. Richfield 28 points. That's another 3A team. 26 points from Milford the last time these teams met. This is a Duchesne team that has held 7 opponents to 1 touchdown or less this season, but 32 points in the first half from the Milford Tigers. And Milford well on its way to a second consecutive state championship. 2 quarters left to go, and we're going to take one more quick break. We'll have your third quarter coming up in just a bit, but it's Milford on top on the wings of Bryson Barnes. 4 touchdown passes in the first half. Milford leads 32-0 over the Duchesne Eagles in the state championship. Tigers leaving the locker room for the second half. I'm sure Duchesne making a few more adjustments for this second half, and we'll be back with second half action on Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Utah Playoff Football on mylocalradio.com.
Many of our customers have trusted Jensen Wood Motors for generations. It's important to all of us here at the dealership we always work for the people. My grandpa was a man of his word, and he passed that tradition on to us. We understand that we're here to serve our customers, and every day we try and do that to the best of our ability. We really appreciate each customer, and we want to make sure that they feel that when they're doing business with us.
Jensen Wood Motors, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Montpelier, Idaho. The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live. Once you've visited the Bear Lake Valley, you'll want to come back many more times. Realtor Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty can show you ways you can own a piece of the lake. Whether you want a summer home, a lot, a quarter share in a home, or a place to live year-round, Gary McKee is the #1 real estate agent in Bear Lake. Visit with Gary today and learn about all the options you have. Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah. Visit bearlakerealty.com.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Back at Stewart Stadium in Ogden, Weber State University. A beautiful afternoon in Ogden, Utah. 45 degrees, the current temperature, and shadows starting to get long. 2A championship in the books. The South Summit Wildcats beat Grand 50-25, and we're on pace for a similar outcome, a blowout win for Milford, as the Tigers lead 32-0 at the half over the Duchesne Eagles. And this certainly was not the first half that Duchesne was hoping for. They moved the ball fairly well, 144 rushing yards in that first half, but they did not take care of the ball the way that the Eagles normally do or needed to keep themselves in this one. 4 turnovers, 3 fumbles, and 1 thrown interception. Paxton Henry had the interception. He has 1 catch in the game. Well, 2 catches, the interception, and then 1 catch from Bryson Barnes, 80 yards and a touchdown for Henry. Barnes has completed 7 passes. Now I say just 7 completions in that first half, but when you complete 7 of 11 for 224 yards and 4 touchdowns, you see just 7 sounds belittling. A great first half for Bryson Barnes, who's just an excellent dual threat, takes advantage of mistakes, reads the defenses so well, and so often, especially at this 1A level, it's changing now. You're seeing more teams do a lot more passing, but in past, especially at 1A, you'd see, quarterbacks had 1 or 2 reads to make, and they'd send out, 1 or 2 receivers, maybe 3 receivers was a big wide receiver set, but anymore, you see Monticello and Mark Bay with the season he had, almost 2,000 passing yards. Monticello's quarterback. Monticello, a great season, lost in the semifinals last week against Milford, but quarterbacks like Mark Bay and Kanab's quarterbacks, the things that they're doing lately, the spread offenses. Rich Rebels have gone to a spread offense this season, and Jared Anderson had a pretty good 6 or 7 games before he went out with a concussion, was not able to come back and finish the season at all for the Rich Rebels. And then guys like Bryson Barnes, who's they sent 4 or 5 guys out on every play, on every passing play, and Barnes is checking down, reading 1, 2, 3, 4 different receivers, and sometimes throwing to that 4th or 5th guy. Barnes so effective this year, 4 touchdowns this season, and the Tigers lead 32-0 at the half, or 4 touchdowns in this game. Short kick for Duchesne. Tigers field it, and Paxton Henry runs right, cuts up field, and is dropped at about the 42. So Milford will have pretty good field position to start their first possession of the second half, third quarter underway. Our broadcast today is brought to you in part by Bear Lake Realty. Here's an option with Bear Lake Realty. Buy a home, rent it out so it pays for itself. You can enjoy it at times as well. Before long, you've got your own home in the Bear Lake area. Visit bearlakerealty.com and talk with Gary and Amber McKee to find out how. Snap to Barnes, fakes the handoff, throws right. Sherwood catch to the Duchesne 45. Sherwood, boy, look how well he used his body on that catch to shield off the defender, like boxing out on a rebound. And Sherwood will be a handful for opposing players on the basketball court this season. All the way to the 44-yard line of Duchesne for a first down. Barnes throwing for Sherwood again, right sideline. Got it, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Milford tacks on another. A 44-yard touchdown pass from Barnes to Sherwood. Zach Sherwood's 6th touchdown catch of the season. His 4th catch of the day. Boy. And you just can't sleep on anybody. 2 weeks ago in the win over Layton Christian, Barnes had 5 touchdown passes to 5 different players. In this one, he's got 5 touchdown passes to 4 different players. 2 for Beebe, 1 for Henry, 1 for Sullivan, 1 for Sherwood. Extra point is up through the uprights, and the Tigers make it 39-0 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. You're tuned in to 1A Utah Playoff Championship Football presented by Bear Lake Realty on mylocalradio.com.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Bryson Barnes 282 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 9 of 13 on the day. Zach Sherwood with his 6th receiving touchdown of the season. Let's see, 39 plus 44 is 83 receiving yards on the day for Zach Sherwood, 4 catches. Tigers make it look so easy. That's 4 scores, 4 touchdown drives that have taken under a minute. Football on the sideline. Did it go out? The Eagles just let it bounce. Brock Adams lets it go. He thought it was going to go out, and the Tigers fall on it at about the 10, 12-yard line. Initial indication is Milford football, and that's about the last thing that Duchesne needs at this point. I'm 100 and something yards away, plus up a long ways. That it looked like it was out, but again, I'm in no position to make that call from clear up here in the booth. The official was right on top of it, and he says Milford football. Now, that was not Milford's intention, and it. They'll say it must have bounced on the sideline. So Duchesne catches a break and will have the football. Coach Marshall, in a close game, I think any coach would argue that. In a game like this where the Milford Tigers lead 39-0, I think Coach Marshall says, okay, yeah, we'd like to have that. That would have been fun. But we're ahead by 7 touchdowns. I think we can let it go. 6 touchdowns, I guess. That higher math is difficult for me. I apologize. 10:47. And a running clock. Had that running clock in the 2A game as well as South Summit ran away from Grand County 50-25. 3A championship game coming up after this 1A game finishes up. It'll be Summit Academy versus North Sevier. Milford Tigers, my goodness. Art Adair, one of the coaches for Monticello, just texted me. They make it look so easy. I'm going to quote you there, Coach Adair. They make it look so easy. You're right about that. Milford Tigers on top big. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 11-yard line. Some discussion going on. Not sure just what it is, but they did stop the clock for this officials' discussion. Bryson Barnes, the more I watch him play, the more and more impressed I am with his decision-making. Just fantastic. And his pinpoint, his accuracy is unreal. A 15-yard penalty. I just missed the officials' signal for what the penalty is. It's something. It was something against Milford, but a 15-yard penalty. So Duchesne out from the shadows of their own goalpost to the 26-yard line for a 1st and 10. If you're Milford, you're probably not too concerned about that, leading 39-0. Give to Mortensen right side, and he finds some blockers and across the 30, near the 35. Mortensen, kind of the one bright spot for this Duchesne offense. I had him with 12 carries, 69 yards in the first half, and add 8 more to that total with a nice run on 1st down out to the 34. Grant in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes to Mortensen, runs left, has a 1st down, and then he is stood up with a textbook tackle. Gavin Davis, actually the ball carrier there. I said Grant, it was Davis on the carry. And he'll move the chains, a Duchesne 1st down at the 38. Davis picks up 4. Eagles up to the line, trailing 39-0. It's been all Milford offensively. Davis. Mortensen fakes the handoff to Davis, and then Jaron keeps it himself and goes right tackle all the way into Milford territory at the 43-yard line, finally brought down. That'll be another 1st down, and Mortensen continues to impress, but The Eagles had 4 turnovers in the first half. Milford had no turnovers, and that's been a huge difference in this ball game. 19-yard run for Jaron Mortensen puts him at 96 rushing yards by my tally in the game. Unofficially. Snap. I think that's Davis this time. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and goes nowhere. Davis back to the line of scrimmage and maybe even lost half a yard. Either way, 2nd down and 10. Duchesne Eagles, they've moved the ball fairly well on the ground. Approaching 200 rushing yards in the game, but again, those 4 turnovers in the first half, not only did it kill them offensively, but it set up Milford with good field position a couple of times, and Milford's offense doesn't need extra favors. Mortensen, another run off the right tackle, and picks up 7 or 8 inside the 35 for a 3rd and short. Carson Wunderlich on the tackle. Mortensen close to a first down. They spot it at the 34. That's a 9-yard carry, and that puts Mortensen over 100 yards. Again, my stats unofficial, but pretty close. 3rd down and short for the Duchesne Eagles offense. As Davis back in at quarterback. Nope, Mortensen. That is Jaron Mortensen. He'll take the snap, hesitate, and then dive into the line on the right side behind his guard, and does just enough for the first down to the 33. Mortensen moves the chains. Mortensen and the Eagles, I should say. Eagles have yet to score today. They've done this fairly consistently, move the football, pick up some first downs, but then the drive will stall or they'll turn it over. Give to Sanchez, speed around the right corner, breaks a tackle, and then he's leveled at about the 25. That's one of those things that it's like a lightning and thunder type running back. Jaron Mortensen, big, he's got good speed, and then you get it to Sanchez going around the right end, and Sanchez with the quickness to get around the corner to the 26-yard line, a 7-yard gain. Sanchez, 7 carries, 41 yards. Again, that's by my stats. Let's see. Stat keeper had him 8 for 36 in the first half. To the 25-yard line, a short gain. Eagles. Brings up a 3rd and 2, and this is exactly the type of thing that Duchesne wants to do. This is what their offense is designed for. You get a good 4 or 5 yards on first down, 2 or 3 more on second down, and bring up a 3rd and 1 or 2. The problem is when you're down 39-0, this kind of offense is not going to get you back into it. Gavin Davis around the left side, and he does not get enough for a first down. It doesn't appear, and there's a flag in the area of holding. Davis brought down at the 24. He needed the 23 to move the chains. Generally on this kind of a play, it's a block in the back or a hold penalty. Both crowds a bit quiet. Duchesne crowd very quiet with not much to cheer for right now. Milford fans, a block in the back on Duchesne. Milford fans like that. They've got a lot to cheer for, but boy, a lead like this, and with as much cheering as they've done, the Milford fans maybe a little bit tired of cheering at this point. I doubt that, but 3rd and long for the Eagles. A 10-yard penalty on a block in the back. Puts them back at the 34-yard line. And they need the Milford 23 to move the chains. Mortensen, right side, double reverse. Sanchez picking his way forward, has a little bit of room, and gets back to the line before he's chased down from behind. I thought there was Brett Beebe, but I think it was actually Russell Walker coming in from his right end position, chasing Sanchez down. A gain of 1 to the 33. 4th and 10 for the Eagles, trailing 39-0. 5 minutes left, third quarter, a running clock the rest of the way. Even should Duchesne score, they'd keep that running clock going. Mortensen takes the snap, looking for the run, then he stops Tim Tebow style, hops, throws short for Brock Ford, and incomplete. Mortensen with his first pass attempt of the day falling incomplete. The Eagles turn it over on downs. That was a decent play, a decent drive they had going. Started from their own 11, 3 first downs on the drive, but it stalls out. And Milford takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line with 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Running clock again continues to run. Barnes under center, then backs up. Steps back up under center after getting an audible call from the sideline. 3 receivers on the right side. Turns and gives up the middle. Nothing there. And we haven't seen Milford run the ball a whole lot today. Brett Beebe, 1 carry. Gage Griffiths with 2. Bryson Barnes has run several times. But again, those have all been on just kind of broken plays or when he's dropped back to pass, nobody open, so he keeps it himself or takes it himself. Beebe with no gain on that carry. And that's a credit to, number one, Duchesne's defense, but also you got to mention Coach Thane Marshall and his game plan, knowing that Duchesne's biggest strength defensively is stopping the run. Beebe gets the pitch, and he picks his way forward out near the 35, a short gain. But again, a lot of Duchesne defenders there, and they'll bring him down. Coach Marshall, knowing he's not going to get much on the ground against this very stingy Duchesne defense. But the Tigers, through the air, have found lots of room. Again, Barnes so far in the game, 9 of 13, 282 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's got more passing touchdowns than he has incompletions in this game. 4 incompletions, 5 touchdowns. And that's in just 13 attempts. That's ridiculous. I think the kids nowadays would that's sick. That's legit, right? Is that what we would say? I don't know if I'm up on the lingo well enough to say those type of things. 3rd down and 8. Barnes under center, fakes the throw or fakes the handoff. Play action, rolls right, heaves deep down the field. He's got Wunderlich at the 18 down the right sideline, hit at the 10, brought down at the 5. My goodness. Bryson Barnes with that ball 50 yards in the air. What a toss. And the Tigers move the chains. Oh, my goodness. Down to the 5-yard line. 45 plus. That's a 60-yard completion. And about, again, like I said, about 50 yards in the air. Arm strength, check for Bryson Barnes. I'm talking about him as a next level. And he's just a junior. 10 of 14. 342 yards, 5 touchdowns for Bryson Barnes. Under center, 2 receivers left, Milford knocking on the door. Fake the pitch, rolls right, throws, and caught at the 1. Reaching out, did he get the pylon? Touchdown! Tigers. Is that Paxton Henry? It is. His 2nd reception of the day, 2nd touchdown of the day, 26th touchdown of the season for Paxton Henry. And Bryson Barnes with his 6th touchdown of the day. 4 incompletions, 6 touchdowns, 347 passing yards. The Tigers were hoping from a big day through the air and offensively, and boy, have they gotten it. Running clock will keep this thing going, but the Tigers tack on another one. Extra point attempt is blocked. So Milford fans will have to settle for a 45-0 lead. That drive, 4 plays, 67 yards. Clock stops at 1:49 for the change of possession. So that drive takes almost 3 minutes, 2:59 to be exact. The Tigers have 4 drives in this game that have gone for touchdowns in less than a minute. My goodness. Barnes to Henry. Second time today. Barnes with touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. He's found Beebe twice, Henry twice, Sherwood once, and was it Sullivan on the other one? Yeah, it was a 27-yard pass from Barnes to Sullivan at the end of the first half. Sometimes it's tough to keep up with this Milford offense. Tigers on top big. Set to kick this one away. Paxton Henry boots it, low line drive, bounces at the 25. Scooped up. Davis running right, hesitating. Good patient return. Cuts back left from the right sideline across the 35. Well, congratulations to the members of the 1A football academic all-state team from Parowan, Daniel Horton, and from Rich, Jared Anderson, Reagan Huffner, Jaden Nelson, and Kaysen Trenary. 4 Rich Rebels, 1 Parowan Ram on the 1A football academic all-state team. Congratulations to those individuals, and that's all 5 guys who start and contribute probably on both sides of the ball, and then get it done in the classroom as well. A lot to be said for the way those guys perform in the classroom, first and foremost, second on the field. The snap, Caleb Sanchez this time at quarterback, I believe. Maybe Brock Adams, but run off the right side for a short gain. That was Sanchez. And he gains 2. Duchesne starting this drive from their own 37. Sanchez out to the 39 on his 9th carry. 44 yards rushing in the game for the sophomore Caleb Sanchez. Duchesne, and quite frankly I saw this game going a lot differently. I saw I predicted and thought the Tigers would win by 2, maybe 3 touchdowns, but 45-0 with time running down in the 3rd. This one far from over still. Duchesne gives to Adams, and he starts left, cuts back up the middle to the 40 for a short gain of 1. That should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 45-0, Milford Tigers with the lead. 12 minutes left to go in the state championship game, presented by Bear Lake Realty on MyLocalRadio.com.
Hello, Miss Susan Siamese Cat.
Dr. Dog, I'm here because my perfectly shiny fur has lost its shimmer, and I don't have the energy I did as a kitten.
Miss Susan Siamese Cat, I recommend that you start taking the Feline Daily Multi-Chews from PetMinerals.com immediately. Your good health isn't a yarn ball to play with.
Dr. Dog, you always make me feel better.
Log on to PetMinerals.com today and get your feline supplements ordered today.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cash Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Back at Stewart Stadium, the state championship game. And this one has not been the contest that a lot of folks probably thought it would be. Milford on top and big. 45-0 with 12 minutes left in this one. Milford came into this season with maybe a chip on their shoulder. The Tigers graduated all 4 of their top receivers last year. Graduated the state 1A player of the year, Ty Netto, who totaled, I think, 17 touchdowns rushing plus a couple more receiving last year. And a lot of folks, including coaches in the 1A South, picked Milford to finish, I think, 3rd, maybe 2nd in the South. Duchesne with a 3rd and 8. Throw down the right side, and coming back to make the catch is Gavin Davis to the 20, to the 10, 5, and touchdown. Duchesne will score to start the 4th quarter. Kason Grant finds Gavin Davis deep down the right sideline, and then Davis does the rest. A 60-yard touchdown pass and catch. Grant to Davis, and what a catch by Davis. There were 2 defenders on him on that right sideline, but he fought through those 2 and made the catch, then outran everybody. Paxton Henry style for the 60-yard score. That's the first reception for positive yardage in the game for this Duchesne Eagles team. It's also their first score of the game with 11 minutes left, just over 11 minutes left. Jared Mortensen at quarterback to run for the 2-point play, and he converts. A 2-point conversion is good. Eagles on the board, trailing 45-8 with 11 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. 4th quarter action, Milford on top big on this Bear Lake Realty presentation of 1A Utah Playoff Football on mylocalradio.com.
If you've dreamed of owning your own beachfront property at beautiful Bear Lake, but think you can't afford it, think again, because you can. It's an investment you can rent that pays for itself, and you can enjoy it too. Realtor Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty can help make your dream come true. Visit with Gary today, because you'll never know unless you ask. Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Visit bearlakerealty.com.
Three plays, 63 yards, 2:22 off the clock. Duchesne on the board with 11:17 left to go in the 4th quarter. A 60-yard pass from Kason Grant to Gavin Davis. Davis with his 5th receiving touchdown of the season. That puts him at over 600 receiving yards this year. And Duchesne on the board, but trailing 45-8 with 11 minutes left to go in the contest. Do the Eagles attempt an onside kick here? Not lined up for it. Milford not lined up to defend it. They'd maybe have an extra guy up on that front line, and the Eagles will boot it not deep, but deep. Fielded at the 22-yard line. And up ahead, Carson Wunderlich found a good wedge up the middle, got out to the 40-yard line before he was tripped up. And Milford with good field position. Kason Grant, a junior this year, junior quarterback for the Duchesne Eagles, with over 1,100 passing yards and 7 touchdowns on the year. It'll be a good, this is a young Duchesne team, just 4 seniors on the roster, playing for the state championship for the 3rd consecutive year, and don't be surprised to see them playing for a 4th consecutive state championship next year. Again, looking ahead a little bit. Bryson Barnes in the shotgun. Beebe, nope, that's Griffiths, comes up to his left hip. Barnes calls for the snap. Beebe 10. Snap to his right, and he'll have to chase it back and dive on it at the 24. I think they'll spot it close to the 26. No, Duchesne came up with it. Referee says Duchesne football. Brock Ford puts an arm up and swings it through as Milford gives it away for the first time today. That is only the 3rd fumble given away by this Milford Tiger team all season long. 12th game of the year, the Tigers, every 4th game, give it away on a fumble, and that's a costly one there. Milford Tigers were looking for some insurance points or maybe just run out the clock with that possession, but instead, Duchesne takes over on the Milford 25-yard line. 4th down, under 10 minutes to go. Grant takes the snap, throws left, got Gavin Davis, broken tackle down the left sideline, 1 man to beat, he's into the end zone. Did he step out? I think they'll say he stepped out at the 2. Now that won't stop the clock, except they'll stop the clock momentarily to set the ball down at down near the 1 or 2 yard line. Or did they call it a touchdown? They did call it a touchdown. So a 25-yard touchdown catch and run from Grant to Davis. Davis's second reception of the day, second touchdown of the day. 25-yard touchdown, 85 receiving yards on 2 catches. Now the clock starts up again as Duchesne comes out and huddles for the extra point. And they'll likely go for 2 here. 83 passing yards for Cason Grant. Mortensen takes the snap, gives to Sanchez, left side. He's tripped up and then stuffed. 2-point conversion, no. 45-14. Milford leads by 4 scores and a couple of extra 2-point conversions. But Duchesne, they are not giving up yet. Listen to that Milford crowd. Fourth quarter action, 9:12 left to go. And Milford will take over, needing to take care of the football. One play, 25 yards. Because of that running clock, it took 48 seconds. And Cason Grant with his second passing touchdown of the day. We've seen Coach Cowan putting a lot of different quarterbacks in there. Gavin Davis has lined up at quarterback, as has Caleb Sanchez, Jaron Mortensen. I think we even saw Brock Adams one time, plus Cason Grant. Mortensen, 17 carries, 170 yards. 107 yards. Lined up as quarterback today. (45-14). Tigers scored the first 45. Duchesne has scored the last 14. Eagles lined up with an extra man on this near side. Maybe thinking about an onside kick. Watch for a little pooch kick. Look at that. There's a big empty space. If you're watching online, you can see Paxton Henry there at about the 44-yard line. Yep, the Eagles try a regular good old-fashioned onside. High bounce, but fielded, and a nice grab by Sionaya, the sophomore defensive end and running back for Milford. And the Tigers recover the onside kick attempt, take over 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Milford Tigers did not turn the ball over even once last week in the win over Monticello. In fact, they only have, including a fumble on their last possession, that's 8 giveaways. They've turned it over offensively 8 times the entire season. That's less than 1 per game. Barnes with 48 passing touchdowns and just 5 interceptions this season. From the shotgun. Calls for the snap. It comes. He hands off. Beebe wrapped up immediately. And nope, that's Gage Griffiths. Great defensive penetration into the backfield, and Griffiths can't get away from, I believe that was Dylan Moon. Like it might have been Riker Blackburn. It was Blackburn right up the gut with the defensive penetration. Griffiths loses a few. Back to the 39. That's a 6-yard loss. From the shotgun, Milford's taken their foot off the gas, at least the last couple of plays. We'll see if they put that foot back down and put the pedal to the metal. Barnes flushed out to his right. Throws. He's got Sherwood in and out of his hands. It was a high pass. Sherwood had a chance, and Jarrett Sullivan was right there as well in the area. There's also a flag down. And that's clear back at the 20 where Barnes released the throw. Reason stands to reason this would be a roughing the passer type penalty because Barnes threw the ball from right about that spot where there you can see 2 or 3 flags down on the turf. Bryson Barnes so far in the game, 11 of 16 for 347 yards and 6 touchdowns. 4 touchdown passes in the first half, 2 so far here in the second. The referee does indicate a roughing the passer. $15 yards and a first down for the Milford Tigers. That's an automatic first down. It's not actually a first down by yardage because of the lost yardage on the last play. Now, wait a minute. So the officials walked it off. They had spotted it at the Duchesne 46, and then they bring it back to the Milford 39, saying first down, and I'm not sure what just happened. They're saying the yard marker says first down, and okay. They're saying roughing the passer from the spot of the foul was the 21. Must have been the 24. 15 yards from there to the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. 39 was the line of scrimmage, incidentally. Barnes showed like he was going up under center, then backs up. Stretches his arms out around and is playing for just to run some more clock off here. Now steps back up under center. Takes the snap, fakes a pitch, then hands to Griffiths. Running right side behind his guard out to the 41, 1-yard gain, or 2 yards. Griffiths, just 4 carries in the ball game. Check the official stats. I think I was off a bit. Yeah, Griffiths had 2 carries for 2 yards in the first half, has 2 carries for -2 yards here in the second half. Or for -4, so a -2 on the day for Griffiths. And that's the strength of this Duchesne defense, is against the run. And against a lot of teams like Parowan, that's why you see Duchesne win in triple overtime last week against Parowan, is they've got that strength up the middle and against the run, but against the pass they just have not been effective today. Barnes fakes the handoff, and then throws. He's got Sherwood just high, and Barnes bends over and makes it look like that was his own fault. I think it was a catchable ball that Sherwood's 6'4". He couldn't quite get up to that pass, and Barnes blaming himself for the high throw. A 3rd down and 8. Clock continues to run with Milford on top, 45-14. Tigers will win their 3rd state championship in Milford football history. A 2nd consecutive year, and you better watch out for the Tigers again next year. Bryson Barnes coming back. They'll have to replace a bunch of guys at receiver, but they did that this year for sure. Throw to Paxton Henry, and what a perfect. Oh, they're going to say the catch was not made. He's out of bounds. Henry was right at the first down marker where he caught that ball, and I was about to say perfect awareness by Henry because he needed 8, and he got exactly 8 yards. But he did not keep his feet in, and interesting because you could see him trying to tiptoe the sideline to get his feet in. But the official, with the far, far better angle than I have, says, nope, didn't do it. Out of bounds, incomplete, 4th and 8, and the Milford Tigers will line up to punt for the 2nd time today. Alec Williams jogs onto the field. Milford needed one more blocker, and Milford will take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well on this Bear Lake Realty presentation of Utah 1A Playoff Championship Football on mylocalradio.com and live.ksl.com.
If you had a toothache, would you see a foot doctor? Or would you go to the dermatologist to have a baby? Of course not. When your vehicle needs service, take it to the best qualified mechanics. At Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, our technicians are GM certified service experts. They're trained to know every inch of your vehicle. Don't trust your vehicle to just anyone. Have all your service done at Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a different kind of dealer.
Milford takes over on that fumble. Duchesne with their 5th turnover of the game. They had 4 in the first half, and that was a big part of why they got shut out. Why Duchesne couldn't score in the first half. That fumble, that takeaway for Milford should seal this one. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the Duchesne 48-yard line. Barnes from the shotgun. Paxton Henry snuck in behind Sherwood, left side. Barnes fakes a pitch and gets back to the line of scrimmage. But again, this Duchesne defense not going to allow much right up the middle. Gage Griffiths up the middle today, 4 carries, -2 yards. Barnes had 44 rushing yards in the first half. That's his first carry of the second half and goes nowhere. 2nd and 10. Surely Milford looking here not to score again. I mean, if it happens, then great. But I'm positive that the Tigers just want to maintain possession of the football and run the clock out, finish this thing out. 45-14, Milford on top. Sullivan in motion. He gets the pitch and takes it left side, goes down inside the 45 to about the 44. Jarrett Sullivan on the carry. Came into the game with no carries. I think we'll call that actually a pass, as a little shuttle pass up ahead from Barnes to Sullivan. Down to the 43, a 5-yard gain. Sullivan, a touchdown receiving on the day. Barnes has 6 passing touchdowns, touchdowns passing to 5 different receivers today. Sends Beebe in motion out wide to the right. Pressure comes, he escapes out, starts right, goes back left, looking, nobody open, tucks it and goes. A flag flies back near midfield as Barnes gets almost first down yardage to the 39. The officials will stop the clock. I think, did Milford just call a timeout? Flag down back at about the 48-yard line. Probably a hold or block in the back is the call against Milford. Just their 3rd penalty of the game. Under 2 minutes to go. We had this same matchup last year in the 1A state championship. That was at Southern Utah University, and the Milford Tigers won. (28-14). This penalty goes 10 yards back. Boy, that's essentially about a 20-yard penalty because Barnes had picked up close to a first down. Clear back to the Tigers' own 43-yard line. Barnes to his right, throws. He's got Sullivan, first down. No, incomplete. From here, Sullivan's body blocked our view to see that the ball hit the turf. Barnes has missed on his last 3 attempts after going most of the game, 11 of 15 for 347 yards and 6 touchdowns. This pass incomplete, and the Tigers face a 4th down and about 12. Time running down, and despite the incompletion, the clock continues to run. Again, a running clock for most of this second half as Milford built a 45-0 lead and has just kind of coasted from there. Gavin Davis back deep to return this punt. Averages 15 yards per punt return. Tigers confused, and they'll have to take a timeout to avoid a delay of game. We'll take one more timeout. 4th quarter action. Milford on top big. You're tuned into 1A Utah Playoff Championship Football, presented by Bear Lake Realty on MyLocalRadio.com.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
4th down for the Milford Tigers, but time running down. Milford leads 45-14 on a running clock. 1 or 2 more plays left to go before this one is in the books and the Tigers win a second consecutive state championship. Milford taking all the time they can. Down to under 30 seconds to go. And it looks like Beebe will punt this one away. You hear the Tiger faithful starting to cheer. Punt is blocked by the Duchesne Eagles, and it's blocked out of bounds. Caleb Sanchez got in to block that punt. And Duchesne will have great field position at the Milford, about the 30-yard line. But just too little too late for the Duchesne Eagles. 13.8 seconds to go. Sanchez on the block. 6-5-4. Duchesne saying, hey, this clock continues to run. They won't even get a playoff. 2-1, and that's your ball game. The Milford Tigers have won a second consecutive state championship, third in the Milford Tiger football history. A 45-14 victory over the Duchesne Eagles. Milford is the 2018 1A state championship football team. 45-14, Milford with the win. Bryson Barnes, I've got him at 11 of 18 for 347 yards and 6 touchdowns, 4 of those in the first half, as Milford pushed out to a 32-0 lead through the first 2 quarters of the game. And the Milford Tigers complete the undefeated 12-0 season. Tigers have won 19 straight. They've got 3 consecutive wins over the Duchesne Eagles after Duchesne handed Milford its last loss in September of 2017. Since then, the Tigers have reeled off 19 straight wins, 2 state titles. And Bryson Barnes, you can hear that Milford faithful singing the Queen song, "We Are the Champions." Bryson Barnes, as a junior, you don't see a lot of 1A players of the year be as juniors. But Barnes will finish this season with 48 passing touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. That's 61 touchdowns this season that Bryson Barnes has accounted for, and you've got to consider him, even as a junior, for the 1A State Player of the Year. Other candidates for sure, Monticello's Weston Nebaker, probably the senior from Parowan, Porter Wood, possibly Duchesne's Jaron Mortensen, if you're really looking at seniors. But boy, my top candidate, Bryson Barnes, 347 yards passing today, plus 44 rushing yards, and accounts for 7 touchdowns in the state championship. A 45-14 win over the Duchesne Eagles. And congratulations to the Milford Tiger faithful, a second consecutive state championship for Milford. Coach Thane Marshall, Milford Tigers with the state title. Our broadcast today has been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty, Gary and Amber McKee in Garden City, and by Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Visit explorelogan.com. Thanks for tuning in. 3A state championship coming up. You can keep it tuned here to live.ksl.com for that 3A championship game. In the meantime, thanks so much for tuning in. We've got some final official stats for you. Bryson Barnes, 347 yards on 11 of 18 passing, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. What a day for the Milford Tigers. Congratulations to the Tigers. And, Duchesne, this doesn't mean much right now, but to make it back to the state championship game for a 3rd consecutive year, even though they lost 45-14, still much to be said about a successful and a great season for the Duchesne Eagles. But again, our congratulations go out to the Milford Tigers for a second consecutive state championship. Big time win today, 45-14 on the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau scoreboard. For our video crew, thanks to V6 Media providing the video. Your brand has a story to tell. Our passion is bringing that story to life. Visit v6media.com for more on V6 Media. For those folks, I'm Ryan Steinekert. Thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. Milford with the win, 45-14 in the state championship. So long.
Today's live online streaming video has been brought to you by Rocky Mountain Yeti, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Signs of Evanston, Wyoming, Jensen Wood Motors in Montpelier, Idaho, the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau, MyLocalRadio.com, Bear Lake Realty in Garden City, Utah, Plains Tire of Evanston, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Evanston Regional Hospital, Cache Honda Yamaha in Logan, Utah, Pet Mineral Labs of Park City, Utah, and by Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet of Evanston. Our executive producer is Val Cook. We'd like to thank our office manager, Kayleen Anderson, and our sales manager, Julie Burley, along with KNYN Sports Director, Jake Hibbert, Bridger Valley Sports Director, Sean Bennett, and production assistants, AJ Lamb, Jordan Bowie, and Preston Bush. Thanks to the team at Deseret Digital, including Thompson Coles and Ryan Rasmussen. Big thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit MyLocalRadio.com to watch games live and free anytime your team plays the Rich High Rebels. Thank you for watching this Bear Lake Realty presentation of the 2018 1A Utah Football Playoffs on MyLocalRadio.com.